Praise God. I want to talk to you about it's worth the wait. We all have things that we are waiting for in our lives. A dream to come to pass, a problem to turn around, to meet the right person. All these things, or all those things that I've just mentioned, are some things that you are waiting in life. When it's taking too long, we thought it's easy to be discouraged, to become impatient, think that when is it ever going to happen? But sometimes it does not happen because we are not prepared for what God has prepared for us. You need to be ready for what God has prepared for us. Sometimes you are prepared in mind, but you are not prepared according to God. Maybe what God has prepared for you is too big that you cannot handle it, so you are not prepared for it. We are prepared in mind, but to God we are not able to handle it. We want to look at the book, maybe read a verse to show us about this thing called patience, waiting. We have to wait. In the book of James, chapter 1, verse 4, at A, what does it say? Let the patience have its perfect work. Let the patience have its perfect work. That means patience is developed somewhere. It is developed in a waiting room. For example, these players in sports spend a lot of hours in a day lifting weights. Many don't like this. They only want to play. That seems like wastage of time. But in waiting room, they are getting stronger, building and also building endurance, so that they could succeed in the court. Before you see what God has promised, before you get to the court, God will send you to the waiting room. This waiting room is where I'm calling you that, where now I'm trying to show you that it's worth waiting. So when you are in this waiting room, you may not like it. You don't see anything happening. Don't discount the waiting periods. Don't get discouraged at all. Because this is where God is preparing you for whatever He has in mind. Don't discount this period and don't be discouraged, because it's not happening as fast as you would like. The longer it takes, that means the more God has in store for you. So the more it takes time, the more you get the bigger things, or the more you get more that God has prepared for you. So when it's your time, when you know you are ready, what you give back is going to be much bigger than you have imagined. That is what I'm telling you today. It's worth waiting upon God. We have to learn to have patience in life. Hebrews chapter 10 verse 36 says that you need to have patience so that you can receive the promises that God has promised for us. Now, in the book of James says that it's worth waiting, that we have to let the patient have its perfect work. What is this thing that you are calling perfect work? This perfect work, these are the promises that God has given unto us, according to this book of Hebrews chapter 10 verse 36. That you need to have patience so that you can receive the promises that God has prepared for you. We know we need to have faith. We need to believe. Those things seems obvious, but this says we need to have patience. If you are going to see promises to come to pass, then you have to have this patience. Maybe you have been praying, believing, doing your best, but you don't see anything changing. You are tempted to live in stress. Have a new perspective. You are in a waiting room. You have to wait upon God. He is the one to make things happen. David was anointed to be a king, and it took him 13 years before he took the throne. God was, when God sent Samuel to anoint David to be the king, God knew that he is the next king in Israel. But God could have given or could have taken him straight to the throne. But David was not ready. He had to go through times of testing, as God did. Then, if you consider this story of prodigal son in the book of Luke chapter 15, verse 11 there, you see the prodigal son got his inheritance so soon. He gave the inheritance so soon, and he went out and wasted it, spent all worldly things. He lived a luxurious life. Later on, he wasted everything and squandered everything that he was given as in his inheritance. You know what happened afterwards? Sometimes in life we get discouraged. For me, I used to pray, God, give me everything in high. Now I've learned to pray, God, don't give me anything too soon. Don't take me anywhere that I couldn't handle. Don't open the door that I don't have the grace to be there. That is why I learned that it's worth waiting. Because if these doors that I can't have that grace to be there are open, it should be difficult for me. But unless God prepares me for that. So when Samuel went and poured oil on the 7 sons of Jesse, the oil couldn't flow out. I can imagine him turning the bottle upside down, hitting it. Sometimes nothing will come out. You just turn the bottle upside down, but the oil is not coming out. You tend even to hit in order the oil to come out, but it didn't work. So God is showing us that no matter how hard sometimes tries to get what's yours, they may manipulate it, convince you, ignore you, to thank you. But what God has prepared for you, it is yours. Nobody can take it. So learn to be patient, and God will give you what He has prepared for you. Until next time, we meet there.